day in Boston. It was 8 degrees this morning. It's all the way up to 18 degrees right now as we welcome you to the TD Garden, home of the Celtics. For tonight, the Celtics will host LeBron James and the Lakers. They're in the midst of the longest road trip that is, of the NBA season, as Jason Tatum and the Celtics finally have their big three, all healthy and all together, ready to play tonight. Well, we're still waiting for the fans to come into the buildings, hopefully sometime soon. But at least tonight we have the two most storied franchises in NBA history. Good evening, everyone. Along with Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy, two of the most storied analysts in the history of sports television. Mike Breen with you. Rachel Nichols with us as well. This is a great matchup to start off, guys, on a Saturday night. Two teams that feel they have a chance, have what it takes to get to the finals and win a title. Mark, let's start off with the Lakers. At the quarter mark, they have the best record in the NBA. Now, this past week, they've stumbled a bit. They've lost 2 games. But all is well in Lakerland, especially when you're led by LeBron James, who now in his 18th year, he's playing at a level that very few, even in their prime, are able to reach.
To me, the clear front runner as far as the MVP of this league is concerned. People continue to wait for the drop-off, constantly anticipating when the decline is going to occur. Well, Father Time is waiting. Do me a favor, tell him have a seat, because it's clearly going to be a while. Look at his numbers. This late, this great. Not even close in his 18th season, running away with who has played the best 18 years into their career. The guy has been outstanding, and it's just amazing to watch him play continually.
But for them to win back-to-back championships, they're going to need a dominant Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis has been good. He's been solid, but his numbers are a little bit down as he ramps into this season. They need him to bounce back here tonight and start being the Anthony Davis that we saw last year in the playoffs.
That was some dynamic duo. Meanwhile, Boston has their own dynamic duo. And although Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum haven't won a title yet, the way they're playing, it is giving Celtic fans hope that there is a title in the future. And, Jeff, you can't blame them because they've become star players.
Well, they absolutely have. I think everyone notices Jason Tatum's ascension to greatness. But Jaylen Brown's, on the other hand, has been quiet. You look at their numbers, they have had steady progress. But this year, Jaylen Brown has absolutely exploded from a scoring standpoint, but his efficiency has been tremendous.
Both dynamic players, but they need a third guy, and that third guy is Kemba Walker. The ability to isolate, the ability to play out a pick and roll. The only question with Walker is getting him healthy and whole. When he's healthy and whole, his numbers clearly indicate that he can be that guy. They need him, and they need him bad.
This is only the second game all season that those three have been on the floor together. Meanwhile, let's send it right now over to Rachel Nichols. Hey, Rachel.
Hey, Mike. You know, it's just earlier this week that Jason Tatum returned from a bout with COVID. And while he was never sick with severe symptoms, he was open to the fact that it really messed with his mind. He said every time he coughed, every time he had some tightness in his chest or couldn't quite smell something, he would feel something that he called close to panic, that it would be him that might eventually end up in the hospital, like in so many other cases. So he had that anxiety alternating with just the boredom of being locked in your apartment for 16 days straight. He told us he spent most of it on the couch with his 3-year-old son, Deuce. And Deuce controls the remote in that house, guys, which means that Jason saw every single Toy Story movie, every single Cars movie. He was thrilled when he finally got clearance to come back to the court, and he expects to be at full strength out there tonight. So stay tuned, because the best rivalry in the entire game is coming up right next after this break.
The Celtic dynasty is broken. The Lakers are the world champions this year. And we are a dynasty.
The word rivalry was invented for this.
And now the bench is empty. Oh, and there's a punch thrown.
Tied at 17 titles apiece. All-time greats going at it. Soaring stars and roaring crowds. Moments seized and emotions spent.
Must have been a great win for you. Exactly.
All for the cause of wearing the crown.
Anything possible!
Just like the white ring does.
This is for LA.
The Boston Celtics are the NBA World Champions.
Number 17! Can you do it?
17 will hang in the rafters.
The race for 18 is on.
Oh, so many memories when it's the Lakers and the Celtics as we welcome you to an NBA Saturday primetime on ABC. And it's presented by AT&T 5G. Baby, it's cold outside. It has been frigid the last couple of days in Boston. We got some snow to come as well. Meanwhile, let's get some pregame sound to get us going.
It's your first game versus Boston. Ain't nothing like playing here with fans. Boston, LA. Here, especially here. LA, all the stars come out, but here it's different.
That grizzled veteran Kyle Kuzma schooling the young kids. LeBron James has played in so many big games in this building, but first time playing in this building without the fans, and he said he's going to miss that part. As we get set for our starting lineups, and tonight they are delivered by Taco Bell. And for the Lakers, Dennis Schroeder and Marc Gasol, two new members of the Lakers. Still an adjustment process, but they have fit in rather well for Frank Vogel and the Lakers. Meanwhile, for the Celtics, it's just great to see Brown, Tatum, and Walker playing the same game. Only the second time this season because, of course, Tatum out with COVID. Brown has played throughout the entire season so far. And, of course, Walker early in the season with the knee problem. Now we're just about set to go. And hello again, everyone, with Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy. Rachel Nichols with us as well. Mike Breen on hand. First meeting of the season between these two. And it's always fun for the Celtics and the Lakers and their fans. So Anthony Davis is playing. He did not play in their last game. They lost on Thursday in Detroit against the Pistons. A quad injury. It was the third game he missed, but he is ready to go. Obviously, they're being very careful, especially early in the season, but we're past the quarter mark and we're underway.